Alright, hopefully, presumably this works. This is the way to get the most SCU in as little time as possible for the resource drive uh, event. I'm just gonna do the things that I usually do, so you should just copy what you see. I'm in the Polaris cockpit. I'm sitting down. It's set up to have maximum engines running. I usually put the shield bias to the back, as you'll see happen right now. It not only affects how many shields the back has, it seems to also affect the regeneration rate, which means the shield should never drop beyond more or less what you see. Basically, you take the mission, you just look for the 127K one. I don't even look at the actual name, I just look for the number 127K. And I'm doing this at ArcCorp because it is the fastest system to do it in, because it doesn't seem to have any server boundaries, and all of the locations are line of sight to one another. So, click the mission, going to the location, jump directly. When you get there, it could put you 30 kilometers away, 20 kilometers away. It could put you directly 5 kilometers away from the actual wreck, so you definitely want to be prepared for that. Put your shields up. Now it put me fairly close, it seems. They're 15 kilometers. Just rotate directly for it. Keep scanning, because small rocks can pop in without you seeing them, so you don't hit them directly. At about 6 kilometers or so, I activate the SCM mode, or shields mode, and I open my exterior. I also use hold down F4 and the plus on the nav on the numpad, just to get my camera to rotate or to zoom out a bit. Polaris will do what it does. This wreck is one of two variants. This is the Caterpillar. I usually approach it on the triangle wing side, like this. You want to aim for the cargo compartments to be aligned with the hangar. Get as close as possible. This is good enough. And then you get up and you extract the cargo. When running through the Polaris and exiting as quickly as possible, and by the way, as you can see, you want to have a geo in the Polaris. I'll show you why later. You can jump down left or right. Just make sure you're fully aligned with the middle. Right here to slide down. If you are to the left or to the right, you will glitch in the Polaris, and you will only be able to kill yourself to be able to get out. Anyway, the wreck is here. You want to aim for the buttons that open the doorways, and then simply repeat the process more times. As you go through it, you want to look at them from above, because that gives you the open prompt, and then you take the cargo out. Now, I'm just going to dump the cargo quickly into the hangar, because I don't really care about the placements. If you are filling the whole hangar, however, you want to make sure to stack them nicely from front to back, or from back to front, so that you have maximum amount of room as possible. You only go for the big ones, because the small ones are just wasting time. So should do it. That's all the cargo from this wreck. You jump down into the Polaris. That one's getting out a bit, so you want to do that. And then you go back to the cockpit. Doesn't really matter which enemies are outside. Usually they will not be able to damage the Polaris significantly, though the AI, as you can see, it's sort of rolling around. some of them will inevitably crash into the Polaris and damage it that way. Once you're done, you abandon that mission, you go back to look for 127K, and you accept another. You get another marker, and then you rotate to that marker. Just go down a bit as you exit so you don't hit the wreck.
You know, from our corp, saw that you cancelled the contract.
And you go to the new location.
Next time,
Once you're aligned with it, switch to nav, and jump directly to it. Seemingly a problem with the nav system. Always fun. There we go. Might encounter issues with spooling natural, but it usually should work outright. And the next location, and at our corp they're always identical. It's one of the reasons why it's also faster to do. If you're in Hurston or Crusader, you have to navigate around moons and planets, and that wastes time. Going to another wreck here, roughly at around 5 kilometers. It's good to reach the SCM, open the apartments. This seems to be another caterpillar. Doesn't really matter what it is. If it's a C2, you just do the same thing. Align with its back, and then just take out the 3 big crates in the C2 and the medium crates in that one. Caterpillar is nicer because it has very accessible big crates, though it does have more of them. You just line. Always good to switch perspectives a bit just to see where you're actually at and if you're actually properly aligned, just because you want to be close. This is good enough. Make sure not to bump into the wreck, because the moment you do, or if you get unlucky and the AI does, then it starts spinning uncontrollably and you can't really get the cargo out. At that point, there are several things you can do. You can try and have it park your ship so it bumps into it and then stops, or you just take another mission quickly and forget about this one. But so far so good. Same procedure, as you can see. Doesn't matter where you get to, it's just doing the same thing as quickly as possible, because it's about 100 SCU per 120 SCU per mission. So you open up all compartments, take out cargo. I've never actually had this happen before, but it's still, I guess, a remnant of the bug of the way the Caterpillar used to be, which was that you couldn't hook onto anything if you were outside of it. It'd be good for the most part now, though. They're good at 2 stacks, so it doesn't matter if it... There we go. Wrong side. Always want to be on the right side. This wasted 10 seconds. And then you just rinse and repeat. So you just do the same thing again, again, and again. Obviously here I'm just going to leave it at these 2 missions, just so that I can show you the next and last bit. Once you've filled out the entire hangar, obviously it takes a bit more time to just rearrange all the boxes so that you have them stacked one on top of another, entire rows. Then you can have about 1,400 SCU in the hangar alone. You can also put the boxes below, but I generally suggest doing just here. So once I get out of here, I'm just gonna go to area 18. That's where I'm gonna deliver. There. There is only one problem with this, which is if it's Crusader, it takes a bit more time because at Orison you can only dock through the docking port. It won't give you an XL hangar to do this directly in. So there you have to dock at the docking port, store the ship if the Polaris is your own, and then call it back up and then do what you can do immediately the other locations, which I'm gonna do now is it's gonna give me the XL hangar immediately. If you're borrowing the Polaris and you want to deliver at Crusader, you either need the person to come help you store it and then call it back, or you store the borrowed Polaris at here, either Area 18, New Babbage, or Lorville, and you store the cargo there. To beware, they only hold 1,000 SCU, and then you transport it with a C2 Caterpillar or anything else. It's more tedious that way, though. So if you can just directly do it, it is best. Right now I'm gonna go down and land at Area 18. Already prepare for what's to happen. Just open the cargo area I want to have. So for example, the Polaris is not allowing me to deploy my landing gear. Now that's still a bug that's been occurring for the last 2 patches. Some Polarises will just bug and will not allow you to deploy the landing gear, or if it is sort of a claimed Polaris that was stored, then you won't be able to put the landing gear up until you quantum away. In this case, it doesn't really matter because we're not going to be landing on the landing gear side. We're going to rotate the Polaris on its side like this, and we're going to point the hangar towards the elevator. You don't want to have it too close to the elevator, because even at this distance, when you try to drop down the elevator, it's going to tell you that the Polaris is blocking it, which is a bug I saw they fixed in this today's latest iteration of the DTU, with a potential fix anyway. This seems to be generally enough, and hopefully the Polaris will not be moving as much as it's moving, though it's always perhaps good to make it stop by hitting it against the wall up front. This should do it. And given the fact that I wasn't able to land, hopefully the hangar won't despawn, which sometimes it can do, due to various bugs. The reason for the geo becomes apparent here because the only way to get in and out of a sort of slanted on its side Polaris is with a mech that can jump. So in this case, we'll be able to get out this way. That's good. This is perhaps a bit too forward, but it should work either way. Once you down, you get out of the geo, and you call your Atlas, whatever, or wherever it may be. Expedited, usually a few seconds, though it is already here at the location. The moment you call it, it will be tied to the insurance later. So, take the Atlas out. Give it a few moments for the server to register. It's there. Go. Beware, usually the instinct is to go and jump into it directly. You never set your foot on the actual floor of the freight elevator because there's a chance 1 out of 10 that you're gonna drop right down. So you take the Atlas out with your tractor beam and then you get into it, and you never step onto the elevator there. Now, yeah, I did put the Polaris a bit too far forward. Generally, you want to have the hangar somewhere over there, just because it makes this easier. You hit the Z button to have free look, and then you put the cargo in your freight elevator there. It's kind of the wrong orientation because of the roughly 30-degree angle I'm doing it at, so it's putting them vertically instead of horizontally. You can, however, stack the cargo very nicely without issue if you can handle sort of the Atlas bugginess. If you want to stack it, it will always not do it correctly. Then you drop it, you start it over again, and then it will stack it. That's a feature of the Atlas for some reason. Obviously, you don't want anything blocking the crates. That's fair. You know, I didn't have too many now, but do imagine having the entire hangar filled with boxes. It does sort of take some time to deposit all of them. Just a bad positioning on my part, but it should be fine for the most part. It is very, very finicky in terms of where to place the mouse. Here, I'll give you the sometime, but it's a problem. For example, here it has to be micro perfect. And then the issue is the clearance, of course, which you can kind of navigate around by doing it multiple times. So it can be a bit frustrating, but finding the exact positioning is tough. Anyway, this is more or less how to do it. And you'll get a better view. This is the way to do it quickly, and you don't even have to move if you position it correctly. Always check that you don't have anything more with the Polaris like this, especially with the smaller crates that you get from the C2. When it's done, just put the Atlas as well back in, or you can just leave it there, it doesn't really matter, claiming it is fine. And then hope that the Polaris isn't blocking the elevator, which you could get a warning for even though it's all the way over there. Right now it seems fine. All I do is just drop everything. And now I have all of that. Dark Corp. In this case, 244, but it could easily go up to 1,400 if I just kept doing what I was doing. I want to get back into the Polaris. I hop in my Geo. Even though my parking here wasn't as great as it usually is, should be able to get back into it. Obviously, if you own it, it's not really much of a problem because you can always call it and store it. But I did put it a bit too high up, because usually you want to go to the side a bit. For the reason my computer is giving me like 2 FPS, so it's giving me a slideshow. Usually it's close to the elevator, and Polaris is no, I'm not going to be able to jump back into it with these frames. I think it's the shader issue. Anyway, I'm going to end the video, just simply have to watch this misery. But yeah, do try it, see how it goes. Borrow the Polaris from somebody who has it if you don't have yours.